Ladies and gentlemen, listen. I need you to hear me. Right now, some of you are sitting in your loneliness, questioning yourself, wondering why you can't seem to find the right people. Why do you feel alone? Why does it feel like everyone else has a crew, but you're out here walking this journey by yourself? And let me tell you something. That's not a mistake. It's not a punishment. See, God's got a plan for you that's bigger than what you can see right now. You might feel like you've been left out, that you're not chosen, that something's wrong. But let me tell you, you've been set apart. You've been set aside for greatness. When you're walking this path alone, you're not really alone. This is a season of strengthening. God's preparing you for something bigger, something greater than all those friends who are pulling at your time and your energy. Because when you're with Him, when you trust Him, that's when you learn how strong you really are. You're in the fire right now. And yeah, it's hard, it's tough. It feels like the world is passing you by. But you're being refined, polished, and perfected for what's to come. God's not trying to punish you by taking people out of your life. He's protecting you. He's protecting your heart, your mind, your focus in while everyone's chasing after people, after approval, after validation. God's telling you to look inward. You want friends, you want connections. First, you've got to be the best version of yourself. First, you've got to love who you are without anyone else's approval. You're a woman with a mission, a woman with a purpose. And that mission might not look like what anyone else's looks like. And guess what? That's okay. Your value doesn't come from the people around you. Your value comes from the God who created you, who has placed this purpose in your heart. So stop looking around for affirmation. Stop waiting for the world to understand why you're different. You were chosen for a reason. God's got you in this season because He's getting you ready for something great. Don't waste your time feeling sorry for yourself or questioning why things aren't going your way. Keep walking, keep trusting, and keep believing that God's got a plan that's so much bigger than what you can see right now. Trust the process. You're on your way to something great. Stay strong. Stay focused. You've got this. When you're walking through life without a circle of friends, it may seem like you're being left behind or excluded, but in reality, it could be that God is positioning you for something greater. The idea of divine purpose isn't always about what you see right in front of you. It's about what God sees in you, what He's calling you to become. Sometimes God chooses to place you in moments of solitude so you can discover the fullness of your calling. The absence of friendships might feel painful, but it's often in those times that God is molding you, preparing you, and drawing out a strength within you that would never emerge amidst the noise of other people. There's a divine purpose behind everything, even the moments when it feels like you're walking alone. Your journey is uniquely designed to shape your character, to build resilience, and to cultivate faith in ways that can't be done with a constant crowd around you. When you don't have the distraction of others' opinions, you can hear God's voice more clearly. You can feel His presence more deeply. Your purpose is more than just fitting in with the crowd. It's about fulfilling the unique role you've been created for. And this role often requires a degree of solitude so that you can fully understand the depth of your calling. God's plan for your life is not always to be surrounded by people who see things the same way or walk the same path. Sometimes it's about being set apart, about becoming a vessel of His power and grace that can only be fully realized through intimate moments with Him. When you're alone, you're not abandoned, you're being refined for what's ahead. There is a profound strength that is born from solitude. In a world that constantly pressures us to seek validation from others, to fit in, and to be part of a group, the true power often emerges when you stand alone. Solitude is not loneliness, it is a space where you can rediscover yourself, reconnect with your inner strength, and learn to rely on your own abilities. In moments of solitude, you begin to tap into the deepest parts of your soul, parts that are often buried under the noise and distractions of everyday life. When you're by yourself, you are forced to face your own fears, your insecurities, and your doubts. But it's in these moments of quiet reflection that you realize just how much strength lies within you. The world may try to convince you that you need others to be whole, but solitude teaches you that you are enough on your own. In the silence, you can hear your own voice clearer than ever before, and you realize that you've always had the answers you've been searching for. Solitude also builds resilience. Without the crutch of others to lean on, you learn how to stand firm in your own convictions. You face challenges head on, and with every challenge, you become stronger. You begin to trust yourself more deeply because you've learned to navigate life without external support. Through this process, you understand that strength is not about how many people are around you, but how well you can face the storm on your own and rise above it. In solitude, you find not only the courage to keep moving forward, but also the wisdom to understand that true strength comes from within. Isolation is not something to fear or avoid, but a process of inner refinement that can shape you into the person you're meant to become. It's often in these moments of separation from others that you undergo the most profound transformations. When you are alone, the distractions fade and the noise of the outside world quiets down, allowing you to focus on the aspects of yourself that need attention. In the stillness, you can confront your weaknesses, your habits, and your past, all the things that need to be refined before you can step into your true purpose. God uses isolation as a tool for growth. Just as a piece of gold must go through fire to become pure, you too are being tested and refined. These moments are uncomfortable. They challenge you to dig deep into your faith and your resilience. But it's through this discomfort that you are strengthened. Isolation gives you the space to learn more about who you truly are, what you need to let go of, and what you need to embrace. You're not simply biding your time, you're becoming more than you were before. Through isolation, you also develop self-discipline and emotional maturity. When you're surrounded by others, it's easy to seek comfort in their opinions or company, but in isolation, you learn to trust yourself. You begin to make decisions based on your own understanding and wisdom. You learn how to rely on God for direction instead of seeking validation from the world around you. The process may feel long and painful, but it's essential for your growth. You emerge from isolation not only stronger, but more refined, ready to walk into the next chapter of your life with purpose and clarity. Distractions are one of the biggest obstacles to fulfilling your true potential. And when you find yourself isolated, it's often God's way of protecting you from those distractions. The world is full of noise, opinions, and influences that can lead you away from your path. In the midst of relationships, social media, and constant demands on your time, it can be easy to lose sight of your own purpose and what you're truly meant to achieve. But when you're alone, you are shielded from these outside pressures. Isolation offers a rare opportunity to recalibrate, to focus on what truly matters without the interference of external influences. You can hear your own thoughts clearly, make decisions that align with your values, and most importantly, hear the still, small voice of God guiding you. When you're constantly surrounded by others, their opinions, intentions, and desires can cloud your own. It's difficult to distinguish what you truly want from what others expect of you. Being alone is a protective measure, keeping you from getting sidetracked by people, drama, or unnecessary noise. In solitude, you're given the chance to focus entirely on your own growth and your relationship with God. There are no distractions pulling you in different directions. It's just you and your journey. You can dive deep into prayer, study, reflection, and work on developing the skills and wisdom you need to fulfill your purpose. The distractions that once seemed so urgent lose their grip, and you realize that they were just illusions leading you away from your true calling. In this space, you're free to grow without the weight of outside opinions and pressures, allowing your mind, heart, and spirit to align with God's plan for you. When you find yourself without the support of a large circle, when it feels like you're walking a solitary path, it may be a sign that you are being called to something greater. A higher calling is not something that everyone will understand, and it's not a path that's always easy to walk, but it is a path meant for those who are willing to stand alone, to rise above the ordinary, and to trust that God has a unique purpose for their lives. This calling often comes with challenges that may seem daunting, but those challenges are part of the preparation. You may feel isolated, but it's in that very isolation that you discover your true strength, your resilience, and your capacity to persevere. The higher calling isn't about what others expect from you, nor is it about fitting into the mold that society sets. It's about understanding that your life is meant for something more than the mundane. It's about recognizing that you have a purpose that is divinely orchestrated, a mission that can only be fulfilled by walking a road less traveled. Those who are called to such a purpose often face periods of solitude to ensure they are not distracted by worldly things or the opinions of others. It's during these quiet times that God speaks the loudest, revealing the deeper aspects of your mission. You are being prepared for something extraordinary, something that will impact not only your life, but the lives of others. This calling requires courage, faith, and the willingness to be set apart. While it may feel lonely at times, remember that your journey is designed to lead you to greater heights, to fulfill a destiny that only you can accomplish. It is a calling that requires strength and conviction. And though the path may be difficult, it is ultimately the most rewarding journey you can take. God's timing is one of the most powerful aspects of His plan for your life. It's often the hardest to understand. When you find yourself without the company of friends or surrounded by isolation, it may feel like life is on pause, like everyone else is moving forward while you're stuck. But that's not the case. God's timing is always perfect, even when it doesn't align with your own expectations. The isolation you're experiencing might seem like a delay, but it's actually a divine setup for what's to come. God is never in a rush. He works in seasons, and sometimes those seasons of being alone are the very moments you need to prepare for what's next. There's a purpose behind every delay, every moment of waiting, and every step in the process. God's timing is about shaping you into the person you need to be to handle the blessings He has for you. When the time is right, when you've been refined, strengthened, and prepared, that's when the doors will open. You may be wondering why certain opportunities or relationships haven't materialized yet, why the people you thought would be there for you are absent, or why it feels like you're walking alone. The truth is, God is protecting you. He's keeping you from distractions, from people who might not align with your purpose, and from situations that could pull you off course. Trusting in God's timing means having faith that He knows exactly when and where you need to be. It means understanding that every moment of waiting is not wasted. It's part of His divine plan, molding you into the person who will be able to walk boldly into the future He's prepared for you. While the world may urge you to rush, God is teaching you the beauty of patience, trust, and His perfect timing. Self-love is one of the most powerful tools you can have in your journey, especially when you find yourself walking alone. It's easy to look to others for validation, approval, or affection, but the true empowerment comes when you learn to love yourself fully without needing the external affirmation that so many seek. Self-love isn't about being narcissistic or self-centered. It's about understanding your value, embracing your flaws, and recognizing that you are enough just as you are. In a world that constantly tells you what you should be or what you should have, learning to love yourself means you're no longer defined by external standards. You're grounded in your own worth and the truth that God created you with purpose and intention. When you love yourself, you stop looking for others to complete you. You become whole on your own. This kind of love allows you to set healthy boundaries, walk away from relationships that no longer serve you, and make choices that honor your well-being. It empowers you to stand up for what you believe in, to prioritize your mental and emotional health, and to trust that you are deserving of the best life has to offer. Through self-love, you begin to recognize your own strengths and capabilities. You stop second-guessing your worth and stop seeking constant reassurance from others. Self-love also deepens your relationship with God. When you understand your own worth, you understand that you are a child of God, created with immeasurable love and value. That connection empowers you to walk boldly in your purpose, knowing that you are uniquely equipped for everything that comes your way. Self-love isn't just a concept. It's the foundation for every decision, every relationship, and every step forward. Growth through faith is one of the most transformative experiences you can go through, especially when navigating periods of isolation. Faith is not simply about believing in what you can see or understand. It's about trusting in God's plan even when it's unclear. In moments of solitude, when you feel disconnected or without the comfort of friends, your faith is tested in ways that push you to grow. It's easy to have faith when everything is going well and when people are around to support you. But true growth happens when you can trust God's plan, even when you're walking alone with no immediate signs of what's to come. When you lean into your faith during times of isolation, you learn to rely on something far greater than yourself. You learn to trust in God's timing, His provision, and His love. It's in these moments that your faith becomes a foundation, a source of strength that holds you steady in the midst of uncertainty. You begin to see that your growth isn't about being surrounded by others or receiving constant validation. It's about developing a deep, unshakable trust in God and His ability to guide you through every season of your life. This growth in faith stretches you in ways you never imagined. It challenges you to step out of your comfort zone, to act on the belief that God will provide even when the path isn't clear. As you grow in faith, you learn that the absence of others is not a sign of abandonment, but an opportunity to deepen your relationship with God and strengthen your trust in His promises. Each moment of doubt, each moment of feeling alone becomes a stepping stone toward greater faith and spiritual maturity. Your growth, rooted in faith, becomes a testimony of God's unwavering presence and His ability to shape you into the person you're meant to be. Breaking the chains of dependency is one of the most liberating and empowering experiences in life. For many, the need for validation, approval, or emotional support from others can create invisible chains that bind them, limiting their growth and potential. Dependency on others can make you feel like you can't move forward without their approval, influence, or presence. It holds you back from realizing your own strength, from standing firm in your own identity, and from fully stepping into your own purpose. But when you are placed in a season of solitude or isolation, it's an opportunity to break free from these chains and discover the freedom that comes with self-reliance and inner strength. In solitude, you are faced with the reality that you can't always rely on others to make decisions for you, to carry your burdens, or to give you the affirmation you crave. This is when you learn to depend on yourself. You begin to trust your own judgment, believe in your own abilities, and understand that you are enough, even without the constant validation of others. It's a painful yet powerful process of shedding old patterns and embracing a sense of independence that is rooted in self, confidence, and faith. Breaking the chains of dependency doesn't mean rejecting others or isolating yourself forever. It means freeing yourself from the need to rely on others for your happiness, your worth, or your sense of purpose. As you grow in this independence, you become more grounded in who you are and in what God has called you to do. You understand that your strength comes from within, and no external influence can define your value. It's a journey towards self-discovery and empowerment that equips you to step forward with confidence, knowing that you are capable of facing whatever challenges come your way. Your true value is not determined by how many friends you have, how many people like your posts, or how often you're invited to sit at someone else's table. It's not found in applause, attention, or acceptance from the crowd. Your true value is rooted in your identity, who you are when everything external is stripped away. It's in your soul, your spirit, your essence. It comes from God, who crafted you intentionally and with purpose. The world will try to assign value to you based on appearance, success, popularity, or wealth, but none of those things can truly measure who you are at your core. When you walk through life without a circle around you, when you feel unseen or overlooked, that's when your true value has the chance to surface. It's in those quiet, lonely moments that you begin to see yourself through a different lens, not the world's distorted one, but God's clear and perfect view. You begin to understand that your worth is unshakable, not because of anything you've earned, but because of who created you. You are valuable because you are here, because you carry gifts, strength, and wisdom within you that are uniquely yours. Your value does not decrease because others fail to recognize it. If anything, being overlooked by the world may be the very space where God protects and preserves your worth for something greater. You don't need to chase acceptance to prove your value. When you know your worth, you stop settling for less. You stop shrinking to fit places you've outgrown or compromising to make others comfortable. You stand tall in the truth that your value is not up for debate. It's not dependent on anyone else's recognition. It's already been declared by the one who made you. So if you find yourself walking alone, without the crowd, without the applause, without the comfort of close companionship, don't see it as rejection. See it as redirection. God doesn't isolate to punish. He isolates to prepare. He's pulling you away not to diminish you, but to develop you. In your solitude, He's strengthening your faith, refining your purpose, revealing your value, and teaching you how to love yourself without conditions. Every step you take alone is a step closer to divine alignment. You are not forgotten, not overlooked, not left behind. You are chosen. Chosen for something higher, something greater, something eternal. So stand firm in your season of silence, walk boldly in your wilderness, and trust that where God has you now is exactly where He needs you to be for where He's taking you next.